Hey friend, it is Kate here. Thank you so much for joining me for a class today. Now I have got a complete beginner Pilates class for us. This is a great one to come back to if you start to experience kind of low back pain. It's also a great class for those of us that maybe feel a little confused from time to time in a Pilates class when there are just so many things going on. We're going to move in a really slow and controlled way. I like to remind all of my students that just because something is considered beginner doesn't mean it's easy. I personally find beginner classes to be much more challenging because I know how to turn on my muscles. I know that the entire time I'm talking, my body should be active and working. So sometimes it's great just to go in a slow fashion to really feel strong, to feel confident, to learn a little bit more about those nuanced positions in our Pilates class. We will really focus on the low back in this class and our tummy muscles, helping to keep our back feel healthy and strong. So anyone that does kind of have low back pain, this is probably a good one to kind of learn a few new tips and tricks. Anywho, roll out your mat. Let's get started. Let's begin standing in the middle of our mat, feet about hip distance apart. Now, we really want to focus on a long, tall, beautiful position to stand in. It's very easy for us to kind of dump forward and think that we're standing up tall and straight, arching our back right here, but we want to find the length through your lumbar spine, that lowest portion of our back. And having a nice active way to stand can be very helpful, kind of both in our Pilates class and just moving around our day. So a couple of things I always concentrate on is lifting out of my feet, almost like I'm trying to kind of rise out of my ankles. And then I squeeze where my thigh and my glute connect. I call that my thigh butt if you're new to me. But if you give your thigh a little squeeze, more likely than not, it's going to gently tip your pelvis into a nice even position. It's not like we're tucking our tail trying to thrust your pubic bone forward, but it's just that drop of the tail lifting up and almost flattening out the space in the front of your hips, right where your pockets would be. You can actually take your hands to the front of your hips and notice, is there a big crease there or is it as flat as it can be? And then bring your attention to the middle of your waist. Now, I never think about just sucking in my tummy during Pilates or yoga or anything. Instead, I envision there's a belt around the small of my waist, and it's not about making myself smaller. Instead, it's just that active feeling of kind of cinching and wrapping everything in. So I turn on the front of my abdominal muscles, but those side tummy muscles too, our obliques, we wrap them in towards one another so we can keep lifting out of our waist a little bit more. Now, start to bring your attention to your upper body. You can pretend I'm standing behind you. I grabbed hold of your ears and I physically pulled them up to the sky. So we're opening up through our spine as much as we can possibly be. Broaden across the chest, take a big inhale. Maintain everything we talked about as you exhale and dip your chin to your chest. Actively reach your fingertips down to the ground. Actively reach the top of your head or the kind of very base of your skull up to the sky, and then very slowly roll your right ear to right shoulder. Bring your chin back to chest. Roll your left ear to left shoulder. Bring your chin back to chest. One more time, side to side, just waking up the body. Bring your chin all the way back to chest. Bring your gaze upright. Notice again, did we lose any of that engagement? Did we start to arch our back or do what I say, the Beyonce booty, sticking that tush out? Nope. We want to keep squeezing, lifting, cinching. So I hope all those things stayed as you did that, but part of Pilates is learning how to control our body to feel stable in the areas that are not moving while we focus on different areas, like just now it was our neck. This time take a big inhale, reach your fingertips up to the sky. I like to lightly rotate my pinkies towards one another and rise up almost like I am trying to reach for the rafters above my head as I still soften the shoulders down the back. I still cinch my waist. I keep squeezing my thigh. Take a big inhale. Flip your palms and press them down like you are moving through peanut butter. Your arms should be active. Again, big inhale, swim the hands nice and high. Exhale, flip the palms, push them right back down. One more time, hands lift nice and high. Exhale, flip the palms, push them all the way down and pause. Take a moment. Did we lose any of that engagement? Again, it's hard to maintain all that stuff while we move one area of the body, but no part of my body is really soft right now. I am turning on my glutes, my hamstrings, my tummy. I am broadening across my chest. From here, big inhale. Dip your chin to your chest. Bend your knees softly and start to reach your head down towards the ground. Now go slow and steady. And notice that I'm not hinging at the hips. I am folding each little vertebra, one, and then the next, and then the next, and then slowly getting into the hips to come down to an easy forward fold. Now, we're not going for straight legs in our forward fold. We're going to keep a great big bend in the knee. And I want you to think about cinching the waist even here. Are your shoulders up by your ears, or are they still down the back and broad? Let the head hang. Look through your legs. Hands can be on our body if we need to, or they can just dangle down. But nod the head a little yes and no. And then pause, press into your feet, cinch the waist, keep your fingertips and head dangling down to the ground as you start to roll up. And then your head is last thing to come up, so I'm looking down until I absolutely have to look up. When you arrive in your tall standing position, again, did you squeeze your thigh? Did you tone your tummy? Did you lift your ears a little higher and broaden across the chest? That's what we want to do every single time that we arrive up here. Again, chin to chest, bend the knees. One vertebra at a time down. So often we get really concerned with moving quickly or getting to the next thing or trying to do the exercise that, quote, feels the hardest. When in reality, in our Pilates class, pause at the base, nod the head, swivel. It's not about powering through. It's not about speed. Instead, it's doing things properly. Push into your feet. Draw the low belly in like your belt got tighter. Slowly start to roll up. Fingertips dangling, head dangling. I'm still looking down, 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 down. I'm still looking down, down, down as I squeeze my foot, tone my tummy, and slowly stand tall and straight. Beautiful. Did that feel a little different than when we normally just swoop down, swoop up? I hope so. Go ahead and come on down to your mat. Lie on your back. Take your hands not quite by your hips, but off your mat. They're not out to a T, but lightly down and away. I find this to be the most helpful to keep our chest open and broad. Gently press down into your heels, and we're going to come to what's called an imprinted spine. Some of us might be familiar, some of us might not. An imprinted spine means pressing the small back into the ground. Now, like I said when we were standing upright, this is not like a tuck of the tail. We're not trying to point our pubic bone up towards our face, but I'm gently pressing my back down into the mat so I can feel my lumbar spine, that lowest portion of the mat, be held and supported by the ground. When we're starting off in Pilates, or honestly, even I, as someone who's been doing it for years, most feel secure and comfortable and strong when I maintain an imprinted spine while doing big, deep tummy work, because I don't arch into my low back. I don't strain those little muscles all behind me. So gently, heels press down, shoulders nice and broad. Take a great big inhale. Big breath out. And then from here, I want you to push down deeper into the floor with your left foot and pick up your right leg. Ideally, we want our knee right over our hip. However, if it's a little closer, a little further away, it's not the end of the world. And ideally, our heel is in line with our knee, but if we've drooped it down, that's okay too. Now, what we can do from here is take your left hand to your left hip so you feel what's happening. We don't want our left hip to move. We don't want our left knee to wiggle wobble, so press down into the ground with the whole of your left foot. Think about wrapping your left oblique, that's our side tummy muscle here, in a little bit more. It's like that belt got tighter, keeping all of those muscles in place. And then 5 times, I just want you to tap your foot down to the ground. Exhale, pick it up. Inhale, tap your foot down to the ground. Exhale, pick it up. Now, of course, our leg is moving, but we should be focusing on how our tummy is keeping our low back in place, is keeping our hips even with one another. That core, that center of the body is there to stabilize us. One more time down. up, pause. Now set your right foot down, press down into the right, pick up the left. Take your right hand to right hip. Again, set yourself up, knee over hip, heel in line with knee. Press down into your right leg, activating the right leg, and then inhale, toe drops down, exhale, lift up. When we're starting off Pilates, the breath in and out can feel a little confusing. At the end of the day, as long as you're breathing, that's the most important thing. If you inhale when I say exhale, I'm not going to be mad at you. What I want you to focus though on is continuously breathing so we do not turn beet red. And then as you start to learn the movement a little bit better, inhale, toe drops down, exhale, lift up. Each time I exhale and lift my knee, I cinch my waist more. I feel those tummy muscles helping to pick up the leg. Last one, lift. Now set it down. Now both hands to both hips. We're going to walk side to side and we might experience some imbalance in the hips, but the more we can imprint and wrap our tummy in, the better. So big inhale, exhale, lift the right leg up. Inhale, drop it down. Exhale, lift the left leg up. Inhale, drop it down. Now keep lifting and lowering at your own pace. And again, the goal is that we bring the knee over the hip and we lift the heel up to knee height. So you can almost think of this more as the whole thigh lifting up, the whole thigh dropping down. As you lift and lower, continue to think about wrapping our side tummy muscles, our obliques in, and almost pulling the navel down towards your spine. And like I said, it's the big exhale as we pick it up so we can turn on the tummy muscles. The inhale, relax without losing your imprinted spine. Beautiful job, my friend. The next time that we set our left foot down, we're going to keep it there. So last time for me, exhale, I lift my left leg. Inhale, I set it down. Walk your feet just a little bit closer to your hips. Keep your hands by your sides. And then from here, I want you to press into your feet, start to tuck your tail a little bit and roll up to the top of our bridge pose. Now, bridge is one of those poses that gets done quite a lot, both in Pilates and yoga. There is a little difference between our Pilates and yoga bridge pose. In yoga, oftentimes we're going for more of like a lift up through the chest and a broadening across our sternum. However, in Pilates, it's more about glutes, lifting our hips, and keeping our knees, hips, and shoulders in one diagonal line. If we're a little bit lower, that's better than arching the back or kind of puffing the chest up. Ideally though, you're pressing deep into your heels. You're squeezing that thigh-butt connection, our thud, a little harder. And again, we're trying to flatten out that space in the front of our hips. Cinch the waist here. And feel your shoulder blades really connect to the mat beneath you, helping to open up across your chest. It's a big one just to hold. Take a big inhale. Now, as you exhale, think about pressing your shoulder blades deeper into the mat and rolling yourself down so our chest does not cave in. Inhale again, lift up, slowly find the top of your bridge pose. When you arrive, pause, squeeze your thud. Trim your waist, shoulder blades connect. Keep that feeling of shoulder blades down as you roll yourself back down to the mat. Again, tip your pubic bone, lift all the way up. Pause, big deep inhale. Exhale, roll all the way right back down to the ground. Last one, lift all the way up to the top of your mat and pause. Shoulders down, nose to the sky. Take a big, deep, full inhale. Exhale, roll all the way down to the mat. Go ahead, heel toe your feet a little wider than one another. Gently let the knees knock together. They don't have to touch all the way. And then take an easy little sway side to side, just enjoying that nice, gentle twist. Now from here, friends, we're going to pull our knees into our chest. We might feel silly while we do this, and that's okay. But I want you to make yourself a teeny tiny little ball and start to rock and roll on the back of the body. Now, when we rock and roll on the body, there are a lot of different reasons we do this in Pilates. Right now, it's more about getting a gentle massage on the back of the spine. And if you're kind of flopping your feet around like I am, it's okay. Roll all the way up. Sometimes we do rolling like a ball, which is more about our tummy muscles working. I've got lots of videos that talk about that if that's something you're interested in. But right now, we're not going to focus on that too much. Arrive in the top of your seated position and think about all of those things that we did when we were standing. Knitting the ribs together or kind of cinching at the waist, lifting up and out of the waist, me pulling your ears up to the sky. We still have that beautiful long back. Again, anytime that we're upright, whether we're standing, seated, it's about our spine being tall. It's about our core, the center of our body, our little powerhouse here, helping to support us so our posture, our back, our shoulders stay happy and healthy. Now, no matter where you are, we're going to do a little side stretch. Reach your fingertips up high. Send them up to the sky, drop your right hand down, and take a little stretch over to the right. Now, the biggest pitfall I see is everyone kind of curls in. That can be okay some days. Most of the time, if we're doing a side stretch, it's about our lateral side body. So make sure your chest is facing forward. You're growing long from your left hip on the floor through your side body out your fingers. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, cinch your waist, turn on your tummy muscles, and rise back up. So even though it's a stretch, we should feel those abdominal muscles working as we carry ourselves back over. This time, left hand down, right hand high, and the big stretch over to the left. You can think about your shoulder blades, the little tips of your shoulder blades, kind of kiss or touch or pinch together. At the same time, draw the ribs in and then send your fingertips away. Take a big deep inhale. Again, exhale, cinch your waist, turn on your tummy muscles, bring both hands high. Hands behind the head, elbows wide. Take a breath. Little twist to the right. Look forward. Little twist to the left. Look forward. Let that go. We'll lie on our tummies. As you arrive on your stomach, a couple of things. First and foremost, I'm going to keep my head lifted so I can talk to you and I don't crush my mic. You have two options. You can stay like I am with my elbows pointed wide, my palms one on top of the other. This is a nice base to push against, open up across the chest. What I don't want to see if we're here is craning the neck. This is not good on the neck. If we're lifted here, I think it's best to look at the front edge of your mat. That way we keep our spine a little bit longer, more gracefully in line with the rest of our spine. If we don't want to be here though, your hands can come right in front of your forehead and you can relax on the mat. Like I said, I'm going to crush my mic if I do that, so I'm not going to. Now from here, press down into the tops of your feet. And I want you to think about your pubic bone, that little front area right in the front of our pelvis, and I want you to press it down into the mat. The minute that I press my pubic bone into the mat, I immediately feel my thud kick on, those glutes and hamstrings working hard. Here in our prone position on our stomach, I often hear from students that we begin to experience some tension through our low back, our lumbar spine, what we've been focusing on all day. And that's because we're not using our glutes and our hamstrings and we start to arch our back and dump into our tummy. That is not the goal. The more we can press our pubic bone down, the more we can press the tops of our feet down, then it's easier for us to begin to turn on our tummy muscles. Think about cinching the waist like your belt got tighter like we've been talking about. It's almost like you're trying to pull your belly button away from the ground. Now, it won't actually pull away from the ground, but it's that feeling of navel to spine, of belt getting tighter. Is there any tension now in your chest, in your shoulders, in your neck? Can you smile? Can you let that go? And then from here, take a big deep inhale. As you exhale, I want you to press deep into the top of your left foot. Squeeze your right foot so much you lift up your right leg behind you. It's not about the height of the leg. In fact, it probably won't rise very much at all. That's okay. When you did that, did the weight shift from the right hip to the left hip? Can you press down into your hip more? Can you pull the low belly in a little bit more? Take a big inhale. Actively set your right foot down, deeply press down into the right foot and lift the left up. So you see, just because one area is moving, it doesn't mean the rest of the body is relaxed. Touch your left foot down, exhale, lift the right. Touch the right foot down, exhale, lift the left. Simply go up and down, side to side. As we let the foot touch and lift, think about the exhale cinching the waist and squeezing the thigh. Every time I lift, I pull my navel to spine. I squeeze my thigh, I drop it down. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower. 2 more side to side. Now, not only am I thinking about all that stuff that's going on, I am stretching my toe as far away from me as possible. The next time that you lift your right leg up, can you keep it there? So I'm lifting it. Now pretend I'm standing on the back side of your mat. I grabbed hold of your ankle and I physically pulled your ankle away from your body. Squeeze your thigh, pull your low belly in. Take a big deep inhale. Set the foot down. Lift up your opposite leg. Same thing. I am standing behind you. I am holding your ankle. I am pulling it away. Squeeze your thigh. Turn on all the muscles in your leg. Big inhale. Set it down. Bend the knees. Little windshield wiper, side to side. Go ahead and let that go. Take your hands by your sides. Now, we do want to keep our low body active just like it was before, so pubic bone down, squeeze the thigh. Feet can stay as wide as the mat if it feels more comfortable to bring them together. That's great too. But from here, point your nose down to the ground. Reach your ears a little further forward. Pull the elbows towards one another. And then think about rolling the shoulders back. Pubic bone is still pressing down. Squeeze your thigh and lift your chest lightly away from the mat. This is not a great big back bend. It's not a great big upward facing dog like yoga. It's a teeny tiny cobra or swan pose. Whatever you want to call it's fine. Take a breath. Pull your belly button in more and lower down. So my inhale helps broaden, lift, and length. It's like someone is holding my ears now and pulling my ears forward. And my exhale pulls my belly button in and lowers down. One more time, roll, and then wing the elbows towards one another, shoulders down the back, big inhale. Let everything go. Beautiful. Bend the knees again, little windshield wiper, side to side. From here, push back to a little child's pose if we want to. If that does not feel comfortable in our body, you don't have to do it. I hope you know that no matter what I do in class, if something feels uncomfortable or just not working for us today, we should not do it. I want you to be happy and healthy and strong. Anywho, find a seat. Sit taller, sit straighter. Notice what feels different from some simple Pilates moves. I hope that maybe we learned something today. We feel a little bit more aware and in control and confident in our exercise than we did when we started. I end all my classes the same, friends. Pat yourself on the back. Thank yourself for doing something so good and just for you. I cannot wait to see you again.